Hi, it's Paul from howtoplaybass.com here. Got a quick lesson looking at some of the sections from the Dire Straits tune Money for Nothing, which of course Sting sang on as well. And I believe Sting played the bass line on it, and it's quite a cool little bass line. It's quite easy for beginners. It's got some interesting things that it will teach you. The first of which is the use of space in the line. Notice how, although it's quite a driving rock beat and you've got that quite heavy riff that Mark Knopfler's playing, Sting uses a lot of space in his line. So that's something to take on board, learn from, have a look at, see how he does it, have a listen to it. The other thing is, I'm going to show you some basic patterns to get through the verse and the chorus. There's a lot of room in this tune, and especially if you were playing this in a band context, in a rehearsal or at a gig, there's a lot of room to play around with the kind of the fills and the patterns at the end of the bars. Once you've got the basic riff down, there's lots of things that you can do. So for a beginner, it's really worthwhile experimenting with trying out some different notes, some different approaches to target notes, that kind of thing, and seeing what you can come up with and start trying to work away from just learning a song and learning the notes and playing that, which is a valid approach, but there will come times when you learn a song, you play it in a rehearsal situation and the drummer's playing something slightly different, and what you've learned from the record, which fits great with the record, doesn't necessarily fit in the live context. So you've got to be flexible enough to be able to keep the flavour of the song but vary your approach up a fraction. So that's what we're going to do in this lesson. Before we go and have a look at the verse, just quickly remind you, if you're not a subscriber to my e-zine, head over to my website, sign up. The e-zine's free, it's monthly, you get a free bass line, some other bits and pieces, so go and do that. Let's go and look at the verse. Okay, so here's the basic verse pattern, 8-bar pattern. I'll play it through with the metronome, then we'll talk through the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then it repeats round. As I said in the intro, there's lots of room to improvise on this pattern, but this is the basic pattern that will get you through the verses. So the first two bars are in G minor. And the notes we're looking at are G, G, F, G, G, C, B flat, F, F sharp, leading back to the G. Locations: G is 3rd fret of the E string, F is 1st fret of the E string, C 3rd fret of the A string, B flat 1st fret of the A string, and you've just got that chromatic, the F sharp, that leads you back to the 3rd bar, it's the 2nd fret of the E string. So that's the first two bars. The next two bars are so very similar, so G, G, B flat, 1st fret A string, C, 3rd fret A string, and then the last little fill is C, D, 3rd and 5th frets of the A string. So those first 4 bars. Okay, the next 4 bars, pretty similar. Okay, so bars 5 and 6 are the same as bars 1 and 2, except the run's different. So you've got G, G again, and then D, C, B flat, open A string. D is 5, C is 3, B flat's 1, open A string, all those notes are on the A string. And then the final 2 bars of the 8-bar pattern. So you've got G, 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 F, G, then octave G, octave F, D, C. So F, 1st fret of the E string, G, 3rd fret of the E string, then octave G is 5th fret of the D string, 3rd fret of the D string for the octave of F, and then D and C, 5 and 3 on the A strings respectively. Now, as I said, you can, when you play through that pattern, vary it up and do all sorts of things, throw in octaves, change the approach notes, but the basic pattern that I've showed you will get you through the tune, through all the verse sections of the tune. So let's move on and have a quick look at the chorus. Okay, chorus. 3, 2, 1. Okay, play the chorus with the metronome and we talk through the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back into the verse. Chorus starts in E flat, and that's the first bar. E flat's first fret of the first fret of the D string, and then to F, third fret of the D string. The second bar is in B flat, and you're using B flat, first fret of the A string or the open D string. Then you're back to E flat. The third bar just stays on E flat. Then it goes up to the fourth bar, which is in F. So you've got F, third fret of the D string, and then down to the low octave of F, first fret of the E string. And then you're back into kind of a simulation of the main riff pattern, but it's got a subtle variation, so watch out. So that's G, 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 and then here's the variation. G, F, G, B flat, G. You should be able to pick those locations up from earlier in the video. And then he goes up to C, D, E, and E's for 2 bars. So C's third fret of the A string, D, fifth fret of the A string, E natural, 7th fret of the A string. So if you make a note of those notes, write them down and cross-reference them to the little play along at the slowed down metronome, you should be able to pick the chorus up.